Welcome. This is a presentation on crucial confrontations or how to avoid avoiding. Crucial confrontations are those tricky conversations that are really hard to get into or really hard to have. Amy Overton and Anne Lowry in the paper Difficult Conversations with Difficult People define them as three parts. Confrontations are crucial confrontations are confrontations where the stakes are high or emotions run strong and opinions vary. Examples include like somebody stealing credit for a presentation they barely worked on, somebody making bigoted or harassing comments around you, perhaps you or someone you know has an embarrassing medical condition that you really feel needs to be addressed, or perhaps just something as simple as somebody having inappropriate workplace behavior. Any of these can be crucial confrontations. There are four main parts that you need to keep an eye on if you want these to go very well. They're preparation, empathy, environment, and timing. We'll go through these in more detail throughout this presentation. Without the ability to have have crucial confrontations, we get taken advantage of, we get disrespected, we let others get disrespected, we ignore important medical conditions in ourselves or in others, and we let the problems build. And really, problems they just don't go away on their own. They don't. You can't count on them to solve themselves. Well, when you're deciding to have these conversations, it's important to think about the reward versus the price. Like, what can you get out of this conversation? What problem are you going to solve versus, say, what it's going to cost? Say you've got an arachnophobic partner and you're tired of stepping on all the spiders. Like, this may not be the best use of your crucial confrontations here, but the difficulty of having the conversation, the awkwardness of it, should not factor into this. Awkwardness does not count. But if it's affecting your behavior, or if or is weighing on your conscience, then you should absolutely do something about it. You should probably have that conversation. My suggestions as far as the four main topics. Uh, as far as preparation, the Paula Spencer Scott in an article on difficult conversations uh, advises to know your role and know your goal. Know if these are peers. Is there a power imbalance here? What are you aiming at? Like that kind of thing. Make sure you reflect on the other person's conflict style. Like don't go into a situation where you're pretty sure you're gonna butt heads without knowing about that first. And as in that Amy Overton and Anne Lowry article on the difficult conversations with difficult people, they advise you to know your own reactions and identify your own fears about the conflict. Know what you're getting into. Know how you will react to this. As far as empathy, there's a really great quote by Ambrose Bierce that speak when you're angry and you'll make the best speech you'll ever regret. So don't go into this angry. Make sure you've had time to calm yourself. Don't let the emotions get too much of a handle on you. Don't use blaming or judging statements. And in the Handbook for Facilitating Difficult Conversations by John Vogelsang, it advises you to take five, take a break if emotions run high, go to the bathroom, take some deep breaths, find a way to escape that situation for just a few minutes until you're back in a situation where you feel like you're calm and collected and can deal with these things in a productive manner. And also, make goals you think the other party can meet. We'd like that if other people did that for us and took baby steps when we need to. So make goals your other party can meet. As far as the environment, privacy is very important to keep the other person's trust and to facilitate a healthy conversation. So don't have these in front of the person's peers, in front of their supervisors, their inferiors, or rather their subordinates, not inferiors, and try and keep the environment as neutral as possible. Walking or driving allows a conversation without eye contact. If it's a particularly awkward conversation, this can help, especially in those medical issues uh, where it feels really, really awkward, really, really difficult to have those conversations. Walking or driving totally eliminates the eye contact portion of that, which may find helpful. As far as timing, keep it at a protected time. limit your interruptions, know what you're doing afterwards, like try and keep an open space. But if you ask the person, hey, I need to talk to you about something, I've really got something on my mind, we need to talk about it, can I talk to you about it later? Be prepared to talk now. Some people are really anxious. Some people really will only their mental state will only get worse as you put that off. So if they need to talk now, you need to be prepared to have that conversation when you bring up, hey, we need to talk later. Um, let's go through it in the Paul Spencer Scott article. It specifies that things go better during things the other party enjoys, like golf or food. Like you don't want to interrupt them, you don't want to spring it on them. But if you want to take them out to dinner, out to golf, or out to something that they enjoy, then you might find that these crucial conversations happen a bit easier. I had my interview with Susan Lake. She's a operations manager for a popular operating system manufacturer. Due to confidentiality agreements, I can't exactly say much more than that. But she's got about 20 years of experience and quite gifted in management. Um, the things that I took away most were that safe environments can be subjective. She tends to have these crucial conversations at her own desk, as opposed to her bosses or human resources. Because if they're at her bosses or human resources, people can feel like they're about to be fired. They can be more anxious. Whereas she keeps her desk and her area as a very open place. Plus, there are other meeting rooms that she could have it in, but they have glass windows, so other people might see the confrontation going on and have a more and have a more anxious response to that. So try and keep that in mind. Try and keep in mind that privacy is important. Also, the timing is crucial for them and for you. Keep in mind what they're doing after. Keep in mind what you're doing after. Susan, she specifically says that she has these conversations at the end of the day, so that the other party doesn't have to worry about things that they're doing after. If they're emotionally drained by the experience, they don't have to worry about extra work. Plus, it gives her the ability to speak to her superiors, gather resources, and generally come to the confrontation much more prepared. Why do these matter? Because problems build, they can have negative physical and social ramifications. They don't solve themselves, and if you ignore like a health problem, it gets worse. Ignore a social problem, and it can get worse. Really, if you're thinking about having this conversation, it's probably already impacting you, because by definition, the stakes are high. That's the second one. You really just can't count on problems to solve themselves. And I hope that helps you in your crucial confrontations. Bare minimum things to take away as far as preparation: stay optimistic, know your goals. Empathy: don't be judgmental, it won't help. Listen respectfully and try to understand. As far as the environment, keep it private, keep it neutral, keep it secret, keep it safe. As far as timing, keep in mind what they're doing after, keep in mind what you're doing after, and keep in mind that food, walking, and driving are great starting places. Food, walking, driving. Thank you. I hope this works out well for you.